What do Minecraft, robots, and space have to do with farming? Everything! Right here in Costa Rica's FAB LAB and CIMAG. Students are using Minecraft to design rooftop gardens, building Lego farms, and testing how crops could grow in out of space. We're touring Costa Rica's Agricultural Innovation Hub, where young minds, ministers, and tech experts gather to explore the future of food. From 3D printing and urban farms to real policy talks, this day is packed with action. So stay with me as I walk you through each station, from Fab Lab to the forest, where farming meets imagination. After a power-packed morning, we had a coffee break and then we went straight to take an official photograph. Go to the Fab Lab, where she'll tell us about some of the programs they have for rural women. We'll learn about 3D printers, drones, and even space farming simulations. So just sit back and take in some of the lessons.
Welcome to FAB Lab. We are gonna start now. Maybe you can all come to this part and see this table, please. If you could. What? Thank you very much. Well, again, hi, my name is Emily. I'm a geographer, and I'm in charge of this section that is the Women's Variety of Geotechnology Technologies. Part of what we do here is teach women how to use different technologies, and it has been a really fun process of training women in different technologies. For example, if you see the first table, you see a drone. Yeah, correct. The women learn how to fly them. Also learn how to create these prototypes right here. Some others, these are some examples. Yeah.
What kind of prototypes are they? Prototypes of what, sorry?
Well, they vary. Women create prototypes of what they need for their community. So, for example, this is a sensor of movement. That's a humidity sensor. Yeah.
Wow.
So it can vary. They learn how to program in Arduino. So most of them use a prototype using that technology. In that table. Excuse that is not really a part of the model because USAID no longer exists. But also we have worked with NASA in 2023. They came here and trained women in different technologies, especially spatial.
Amazing, right? Now let's learn about how they're trying to recreate this hydroponic system.
We measure the pH and electrical activity to control the nutrients of water and the acid of water, and also use artificial lights and a water pump for the circulation of the water. And with the sensor, we take decisions. For example, if the plants need more water or more nutrients. And it's efficiency mode of grow the plants with less water in that other needs. Also, we are developing a low-cost model of hydroponics. It has a cost of $50 and this model of $6,000. And for making different parts of the model, we use different machines that the FAB Lab have.
Yeah, well, it is also useful not only because you can grow them vertically, but also because they grow faster. less time than it takes. So in this case, we are using lettuce, but also we are thinking to use strawberries next time
Okay.
to start working on our plants.
He's going to show us how he uses this 3D printer to make the net cups for the hydroponic system.
For example, we use it to reduce the digital gaps in agriculture. We developed a platform with the name of OECS. The idea is collect different models for agriculture that farmers from Latin America can download with only a click.
Okay.
And this machine made plastic filament and build anything layer by layer. I'm going to show an example.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the farm on planet Mars. This is where they experiment with simulated space soil to see how much things they can get to grow.
Try to create useful way to use agriculture in other spaces, specifically in the moon and Mars. Mars? Moon, I guess. Mars. Yeah, okay. So we have worked with NASA also, and with and with a person that will come in this video is Diego. He's also in that course there. To create ideas how to use plants that we have here that can also grow in the ambient moon and also in Mars. So another of our projects from with another of the interests that we.
Welcome to AgriBio Entrepreneurship Center. This space brings together agriculture and business, helping young entrepreneurs create real solutions in food and farming. Let's go to CIMAG, a hub for agricultural research where data, science, and sustainability come together to shape future food systems. We're talking Legos and farming.
Do with our partners called Aprender Haciendo. Aprender Haciendo is the Costa Rica partner for Lego education. So we have two substations here. First, we have the basic Lego pieces. We teach kids how to build basic Lego blocks. For example, we have a tractor, we have this forest. It's basically to teach them a little bit on how to manipulate Legos. Then we move on to these kinds of Legos. These are robotic Legos. You can program these kinds of Legos.
Okay.
What animal is this?
No.
A cow. Okay, yes. Some people say it's a dog, but no, it's a cow. Okay, what do cows eat? Grass. Okay, so if I grab some grass, she will eat it, okay? What happens if I get some water? She will drink, okay? What happens if I get some meat? She won't like it, right? She won't eat it. How do we achieve that? With a color detection sensor, that is this light we see down here. Then what happens if the cow is bothered by some fleas? She will get angry and try to get them away, right? Okay, how do we achieve this? We have a pressure sensor on this section of the cow. So these kinds of robots are built for lots of stuff. For example, last year we had the National Lego Challenge here in Costa Rica. 600 kids came here and they had to do a challenge related to water, protecting the seas, and fishing. So they had to build these kinds of robots with some, oh sorry, a little bit mad there. They had to build
Robots planting seeds. Come on, this is amazing.
this technology is what moves this arm. This is a robot arm and connects to that application that we can monitor what this robot is. Okay. As I mentioned, this is an open source and open hardware initiative, meaning you can download everything, the schematics, and how to build this kind of stuff from this company, Farm.io. Basically, you can buy the kit and put it yourself together. And the idea is that using the idea is, for instance, I can set a routine that I can say, go to that spot, open the valve, X seconds. So you can irrigate this. It's very easy to use. You can see it everywhere. Okay? As I mentioned, this is a test we have to show you, but you can configure, for instance, let's say the lettuce needs to be irrigated twice a day, so I can set that different hours, and the basic can be water just once a day. Okay. Also, this can work. Usually, you can set it up outside, but since we have it inside the cement, we have artificial lights also to simulate some daylight, and we can grow crops here. As you can see, that was a small example of what we can do. As you can see, the arm is moving, or this kind of moving, and you can see different kind of crops you have in the application. So this allows us to have several of these, and I don't have to go physically to see how it is. Also, this one comes with a small camera, so you can also take pictures of the crops. And if you detect something, like a disease or something, you can even take that picture and run it through a specialist software and try to detect what's going on with that camera. Also, in a couple of months, we will have a huge container, which is basically a self-contained space where you can have something like this, but more complex. The idea is that people, you have to do a whole process to get inside and have different crops. We're going to have in-house crops, and the idea is that it's self-reliant, meaning that if you have a disaster, it's not affected because it's inside that container.
Okay.
So, as I mentioned, we will have it in a couple of months. Too bad you get here sooner because we have to show it to you. But it's the next step of this kind of precision agriculture that we have. I don't know if you have any questions regarding this. Yes, those are seeds. I don't know if it's... Yeah, you can do that. This is the cedar head. Basically, this arm can take any of these different bases. So this is a cedar. Basically, it goes like this. And the idea is that it creates some kind of suction, goes through here, and it can set it on the ground. I'm not sure if it's working the routine. Let me check. We don't lose anything. And put it right here because... And let's see if that works. But as I mentioned, the idea is you have this is open source, so you can create different kind of things. For instance, this is a sensor, so you can program it to go take it and take several different measurements of the soil. One interesting project I saw with this one is they had a laser mounted into this. So the idea it was that with the camera, it goes and tries to kill the weeds. Very cool. How much that? Okay.
I didn't even get a clip of that Minecraft. But yes, you can research it. Let's see how they use satellite images to help with agriculture.
Can I go faster than that?
No, that's the kind of regular speed.
Satellite. So we take all those images that are free access and we use to process them, and we map in different indexes that help us with agriculture and crops. So basically here we've got a land cover index that tells us, for example, here we've got forest, crops, water, and also we've got pastures and all the land cover that goes in this country. Basically we have work from 2016 to 2024, and we've got another index here that goes with humidity, and it tells us how humid or wet is the soil in the country. So it goes from -1 to 1, and from this area it goes that it's quite wet, and here it's quite dry. So we've got another index that is specifically for the vegetation, and it tells us how humid the vegetation of the soil is. So it goes from -1 to 1, and in this region, or the red region, it goes that it's very dry. And the last index that we have, it's another humidity index that it tells us specifically the union of the vegetation and the soil and how wet it is. So with all those indexes we try to, well, the mapping that we've got, and also we try to make predictions to make decisions. Decisions like what? For example, when to harvest, how to harvest, and also, for example, the irrigation. It tells us if it's very dry, we have to irrigate. If it's very wet, we do not have to irrigate. And regarding the Caribbean region, we also have mapping the hurricanes that have been happening from 2016 to 2024. So here we are mapping the trajectory of the hurricane, and we also have certain satellite images that we can see how it is behaving in that specific part. And charts. This is a GIF also of the trajectory of the hurricane, and it tells us how high the waves are behaving in this section, for example, and how high the wave is gonna crash in the coast. And also we have another one that it tells us the wind speed of the hurricane. So basically it goes from 0 to 30 meters per second, and with all these mapping, what we're trying to do is as well to make predictions using temperature, using wind, to make predictions of possible hurricanes that is going to happen, and to make decisions to prevent the effect that could happen.
Well, thank you for that explanation. So please.
Okay, so I felt so nostalgic entering this house, and I really hope that something like this could be replicated across the entire OECS, so we could see where we came from. We get a glimpse of our history, what our grandparents, our foreparents, how they lived, and to show us just how far we came. Enjoy this tour.
Is a representative house about the way of living that our ancestors had.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks.
The ones that work in crops and fields and.
Okay. Nice.
Alle moet je maar.
Yeah. We have one being in the same with like another couple with the same.
Yeah, 2 p.m.
So we also know that electricity was
What?
I grew up without electricity at
Well, everybody has the lamp because hurricane.
Yeah, we used to still use that even they had electricity. I'm feeling what you call that again, that word? No, it's nostalgia. Yes.
So when they drink a lot, they cannot have to go inside, truck for example, let it pass so that you can manage to so that expression.
These are very big.
Yeah, the biggest one, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, on the drum.
I need one of these. How can I get one of this?
You never build at home.
Huh?
You never build away from.
St. Vincent.
You have to build that at home.
Yeah, but it's finding who.
This carburetor.
I love this type of life. I want an oven like that too.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Wicked. I think I want a photo with this.
As in you next to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on already, you say? You sure it's running?
Oh, well, this is a little bit modern. That is, this is like a relative house. So here is a little bit modern because we have lights. But in those days, we didn't.
What is this? And let's see. And the latching. Should be a latching.
I was just like, is that what I think it is?
How do you open?
Bathroom
Oh yes.
Can open? Oh, got it.
Okay.
Wow.
Can we see the cockroaches?
Oh, a little bit of privacy, right?
Yes, come. Take a video.
This is awesome.
It's already sideways.
Well, this is a little bit modern because
Keep it sideways. Keep it sideways.
Okay. It uses.
Yeah, this is modern.
Yeah. But it's like to represent the
But
way.
it have two holes.
Yeah. Grown-ups and kids.
Oh! Everybody had to use one. Yeah, we had to use
We
one.
follow the group that they are already in.
Okay. Okay. This is really nice. So this they had electricity.
Here we have it because of different kind of stuff, like for example the lights. But
Okay.
in those days they didn't have electricity
Okay.
in the same way that we do.
Welcome to the Agroforest of the Americas. This space teaches us that farming and forestry can go hand in hand, and that farming practices doesn't have to harm the forest. We can grow food, protect the forest, and build a future rooted in balance.
What is this area? A greenhouse?
Right here we have a hydroponic system.
Sorry.
At first,
So yes, this is the hydroponic system.
be careful because he has hairs. Okay, that's his.
While leaving, I had to take a a picture of this cocoon that you see hanging on the leaf here. I found it so interesting and beautiful. Can you guess what plant this is? Or this? We then had lunch with the Director General of IICA. The food was fantastic. Then we had a youth brainstorming session where we had to think about an issue that mostly affects the youths in whatever particular country, and then each country will present on it to the ministers and the other persons present. We would share the solution, then pose it to the ministers in the form of a question.
You should be using 1 or 2 minutes to ask the authorities a question. Country representative, who is Miss Shikania Small from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity. So, the youth from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we decided to focus on the issue of access to financing and capital. What's the current situation in St. Vincent? Most startups, especially led by youth and women, are usually funded by personal funds or through loans. And these loans are commercial loans offered by banking and other financial institutions with very high interest rates, up to 12%. We also do not have an agricultural development bank to offer low interest rate loans to farmers. And while grants are available, grant programs are available, they often have very high entry requirements, and even for youths, the lower limit is 18 years old. We know youths can start their programs even earlier. So the solutions that we came up with is to have engagements with financial institutions to perhaps offer low interest loan products, to have increased access to grants, and to have to open up market access so that youths can earn income that could help them perhaps generate collateral or even the means to repay these loans. So our question is, how possible is it for the Ministry of Agriculture to facilitate youth access to low-income loans and low-entry grant programs to assist in finance?
Yes guys, unfortunately I ran out of space.
Maria Roberts from St. Lucia. Please, Maria, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of my team, I would like to address the issue regarding the lack of farm labor. It's a major issue for the majority of farmers on the island. So our current situation is we assist each other on the farm, and that is not enough. So therefore we should address the need for addressing workforce availability on a national level and mechanization. So for the first point in addressing workforce availability, we believe there should be an increase in awareness campaigns to eliminate the negative stigma and make farming more attractive, not only to the youth but everybody. More importantly, there needs to be a labor support program initiative where the government subsidizes the labor and allow the farmers to select the laborers, whilst providing advantages, of course, to attract laborers such as health benefits, training, and probably NIC, but most likely NIC. Our second solution to this issue is mechanization, where we introduce machines to the process, moving away from the traditional farming, where we will initially need less labor, but more skilled labor. Making farm equipment more readily available, so you can now walk into a store and buy farm equipment, which is not the case currently. We increase support from financial institutions in providing funds to access these equipment, and for those farmers that cannot pay for the equipment, we need assistance from the government where we can have a leasing program and farmers can lease these equipment for a certain period of time. So that's our two solutions, and our question
will the government be willing to remove all taxes on imported farm equipment for registered farmers?
Of course, I had to get a picture here. Looking lovely. And this is our Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Saboto Caesar. So we had a cocktail afterwards, and these were some of the food we were given. And your girl brought extra clothes thinking that she was going to have time to change and so on. But it was really fun. It was a time to mingle. Yes, this is my brother here from Grenada. After the cocktail, we headed back to our hotel, and my girl from St. Lucia organized a spa for us.
Where are we going?
We're going to the spa.
Here's the spa. We are here. Okay, so what do we have here? We have in a... Okay, we have the owner of, what's your brand?
Elegante like cosmetics.
Okay, and we're here to do a mini spa.
I think I'll do the purity bar.
Look at the setup, look at the setup.
Making that one. No, it's out to get the focus out of me. And the beauty bar. Alright, well, I want the
All the
beauty
way
bar.
from St. Lucia.
What the beauty bar will do for me. I think I like that one. So washing my face, right? I'm washing my face, right? Yes, your face, your hands.
Yep, the men had a chance as well. So go support your girl. Her page is Elegante. She's from St. Lucia. After this, I headed back to my room. Even with the elevators, this hotel is so big that is the most walking I ever did in a hotel. And sometimes these corridors can feel so lonely. So please be aware of that when you go into a big hotel. That's the end of day 1. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.